Talk me through this one.
So Solfrid Koanda was, she's a very, very good friend of mine, but she was also a very integral training partner for me in the lead up to the games. And we and her have very similar stories. I mean, her background and story is pretty incredible. She's actually, her dad's from Ivory Coast and her mum is from Finland, but she grew up in Norway.
Okay.
And so she was, adopted and kind of in and out the system for a while and whatever, had a bit of a rough start in life. And then she's actually trained electrician. So just, kind of went to the gym, did a bit of bodybuilding, was always really in shape or whatever, but didn't do anything crazy. Tried a tiny bit of CrossFit, hated it, and then tried lifting. And she took lifting in lockdown. So she just started lifting within the lockdown period.
Wow.
And then obviously just became this absolute superhuman at weightlifting. And I've just never met anybody like her in my life. I would dare say she is stronger than me. 110%. She's incredible. She trains incredibly hard. You watch her train and you're tired. She's that kind of person, do you know what I mean? She trains so hard. And then obviously, just to watch her story, because she did kind of the same as me, started just at Olympic cycle. And then obviously she went to Paris and became Olympic champion in Paris. And obviously that moment was a lot of the time you don't really know what's going on. You leave coaches to make decisions, to put weights on the board, all this kind of stuff. So that was her generally. She didn't have a clue that she just won the Olympics. So it was her coaches telling her, go back on that stage, you've just won the Olympics. And then that was the moment that she realised that...
She didn't know the weight. Is that real? So,
that's
is that
real.
a thing, Em?
That's the thing. So I would say most well-behaved and successful athletes just do as they're told. Because you haven't got control over what everybody else is lifting. You haven't got time to look at the board and see what the calculations are and see what you need. That's all left down to your coaches and the decisions. Whoa. So they make all decisions for you. So... if you're confident in your coaching team, you know that whatever decisions they've made there's a reason for it. So you just go on the stage, they warm you up, and you execute the lift that they give you. So she would have done that, and they actually put that on because it was just short of a world record, the last attempt. But she'd already won by the second attempt, but they didn't tell her that she'd won by the second attempt because they wanted us obviously to execute the third. So when she missed it, she was a little bit disheartened, kind of came off, and then they said to her, no, get back on that stage and celebrate. You're Olympic champion. And then that was the moment she realised that, all her dreams had come true. And it was just such a beautiful moment because she lifted the night before me. And I watched her, just got my hair done, just got my crazy hairstyle done.
Good hairstyle.
And I was sat, thank you very much. And I was sat watching her at Team GB House. And we'd just been through a lot, blood, sweat and tears in the past, month or so. I'd been to Norway, she'd come to me. We'd been on several training camps together.
How does that work then, Em? How do you train with one of the Norwegian team? How does that work?
Yeah, so essentially
how are you
because we just see each other at competitions, and actually Solfrid was a big fangirl of mine, which was really funny now because obviously we were really good friends. But I remember she was really scared at World Championships in 2021, just after Tokyo Olympics, and she asked her coach, "Can you ask Emily if I can have a photo with her?" Yeah, and she was literally like that, and we had a photo together, and then you obviously you go to competitions, you see the same people at competitions and whatever. We just kind of started saying hello, talking to each other, and then we just obviously was both smart and was realising where she's in the weight class below me, I'm the supers, we don't lift that far away from each other. We'd actually be really good if we could push each other. And she's from a small nation that doesn't have loads of lifters. I'm from a small nation that doesn't have loads of lifters. I was in a position where I kind of had my own budget that I could do what I want with, and especially when I was the only one that qualified for Paris, then it was the focus kind of went on just getting me to Paris. And they said, how do you think that you're going to achieve what you want to achieve in Paris? And I said, well, I need someone that's going to push me to train with me. And I think that person's Solfrid. And she said the same to her federation. I think I need to train with Emily. I think it's the best thing for me. Oh, wow. So then we just communicated and made it work. So it's quite nice actually. You've got a little group that's
I can't think of another sport where that would happen. Where you're essentially helping one of the Norwegian team to win a gold medal.
Yeah, but she also helped me win a bronze.
Yeah, exactly.
but Colin Jackson did that, didn't he, with Mark McCoy? Mark and him. He was Canada, Great Britain.
Yeah.
And Mark came away with a medal in that one, and Colin came away with a bit of disappointment. But
do you know this clip
over
here,
their careers?
When I tried an ex-PE teacher and did a sports degree and all the other stuff, and you sort of get used to defending PE and defending sport to people. When you see her reaction to this, you're not getting that reaction doing anything else in the world. It is fantastic. She is absolutely overjoyed. This will bring a tear to your eye, this clip.
Yeah.
She's so happy. It is fantastic.
It is so beautiful, and like you said, you know, it means so much to you. And yeah, it's just been a long old road. You know, we've got a couple of other friends as well. So we've got a guy called Enzo. He's from the Netherlands, and again, only pretty much like world class lifter from Netherlands. And then our friend David Litty, he's over the pond. He's actually Tongan by descent, but he's New Zealand, represents New Zealand. And again, he's another super. And we all don't really have anybody in our countries to push us. So we just took the initiative to be like, we formed this like group of friendship, but then we just trained together. So like we went to Miami in 2023 for a few days, and then we went and visited one of the American girls called Matty Rogers. So she's one of the top lifters in America. We went up to her. She had like a gym in her back garden. I mean, it was the most incredible gym you've ever seen in your life. But, you know, we trained with her and stuff. So we just took it upon ourselves to be like, you know, we haven't got what we need in our countries, but how are we going to make each other better? And then kind of just, you know, got friends for life out of it as well. So it's just really a beautiful thing. And like I said, you know, obviously for Solfrid to start weightlifting 4 years ago and to become Olympic champion.
Incredible.
Yeah, and obviously
what was it like watching that in the Team GB house there when you're watching her win that goal?
Yes. Yeah, so I was in Team GB hat. It was just incredible. But obviously I'm celebrating. Everyone doesn't understand why I'm celebrating because it's not GB.
Got your Norwegian flag up.
Yeah, I'm trying to explain to everyone that no, this is, you know, my training partner in the lead up to the games. And again, like, you know, I had Team GB actually cleared David Litty from New Zealand to come and train with me in prep camp. So he actually joined us Brits in prep camp. So it was just me and him. We had 2 platforms at the back of the S&C gym, so the athletics lot used to come in and do their thing, and we'd just be lifting, making a load of noise at the back. But it was just one of those that, like, you know, I kind of said, it's going to be a bit crap if I've had this fantastic build-up. Then I go to prep camp and I'm just on my own with the coaches, like, no vibe. So David obviously trained with us as well. So it's just a really nice, like, ending to the Olympics to see all of us do so well and just know that we all had a part of each other's journey to get there. So, yeah.
Because if you look at a sport like darts, on the practice boards backstage, they're all with each other. So they're practicing against each other before playing each other in the top competitions, and the same as snooker as well. So they're all backstage on practice tables and stuff, and the backstage area is quite small and intimate, so they all know each other. Is it the same with weightlifting? Like, do you know, your main rivals, the Chinese lifters or the Japanese lifters, do you know them on a personal level? What's the atmosphere like backstage in a competition?
Yeah, to a certain extent, especially obviously some of these girls have been lifting against them, you know, 7 years, you know what I mean, when you've been in the game for a while. I mean, sometimes obviously language barriers come into play a little bit. I mean, like Li Wen, she's incredible character. She's Chinese, but she doesn't really speak much English. But we always have like good like energy and vibes. She always comes over, gives you a hug, always says hello, that kind of thing. And same with the Korean girls, they're all the same and whatever. And yeah, like the American girls, there's a girl called Sarah Robles that lifted. You know, she's been lifting for a while. She won bronze in Rio and bronze in Tokyo to me, and we was really good friends. We'd go on training camps to the US all the time, and me and her would actually just go out to the cinema at night time and you know, do things together and chill out and stuff. And you know, she was massive. They actually brought me over to America in the lead up to Tokyo to kind of, for us to train together and for me to give her a little bit of a kick up the backside. And they thought it was going to be more benefit for her, but actually ended up being more benefit for me in the end. But, you know, obviously when I beat her in Tokyo. But yeah, again, she's, you know, incredible human, and you make really good friends and stuff. I mean, the setup in the back room is everybody gets their own platform. So you'll see there's a number attached to our suit. That's the number of the platform that you're on in the back. So that's your platform. That's you're there with the coaches and stuff and whatever. And then obviously there's a board that goes up, and then the coaches, that's how the coaches know when to introduce you into the competition. So it's kind of like everyone sees each other at the beginning. We all have a lineup. So that's probably where we'll say hello, blah, 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 blah. Once you come off, it's business. Everyone kind of gets on with their own thing. And then at the end, you know, everyone goes around the hall and gives each other a hug and says congratulations and whatever at the end. Yeah. Especially super heavyweight girls. I don't know what. There's something special about us lot. We're always dead good vibes and everyone's dead nice to each other. I've heard the lighter girls are a little bit more bitchy, but I've never been light enough to experience it. So
here's the question, and the big question for me. Oh, go on. When you're in the gym, whether you're sharing with other athletes or whether it's just doing a Olympic lifting gym, right? Do you do the scream when you're training?
Not really. It'd have to be like top end PB weights for me to make that big noise. So you do sometimes, but it's not like every single lift. You like make a load of noise.
So when we hear that, we know that Emily means business. Then that's the
proper. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So sometimes people do stop and turn because they're like, oh, it might be big this.
Just for a good parallel park. Yeah. Just in the zone. Come on.
I love it. I just love watching people lifting big weights.
Yeah, me too.
You'd have a field day in a world's like training hall if you just come in one day and just.
I'd love to
just
watch people train. I'd love it.
Yeah. Especially when you've got like the big boys in it, like all the Armenians and the Georgians and that, they train together and they've all got big super boys that train together. Like the Iranian boys randomly play UK drill. How did that even reach Iran? Like, it's so bizarre. Like, you walk in and they've got speakers on and you're looking. At first time I was like, who the hell is playing UK drill? Like, yeah. And then it's the big Iranian boys, literally like power cleaning 180, like it's a cotton bud with like UK drill playing. It's the most bizarre experience you've ever seen in your life. But it is really cool. Like, you go in and obviously all the countries train in all different ways and everyone's got their named platforms and you got music from all over the world just blaring out everywhere and just people just flinging around crazy ass weights all in one room. It's definitely an experience.
Nice.
I don't know whether you realise sort of the impact that you have without sort of blowing smoke. I coach a girls' football team, so they're under 10s.
That's cool.
We had we had some new kits this year, and they all had to try them on.
Yeah.
And with that, they're sort of about the age now where they're starting to see, some of them are really tall, some of them are bigger girls, some of them are sort of small. So it could have been really awkward because they're all trying on different shirts and some of them are too small and they've got to pass on to the next one. And there was one of the girls who had to try on a medium and she was getting a little bit embarrassed about it. And one of the other girls just went, no, you're really strong, like that weightlifter. And I was like, cool. Aww. If I ever meet Emily, I've got to tell her this. Yeah. So you kind of have a little impact there where some girl now doesn't have like a body conscious thing because they see it as someone who's strong rather than the shape or whatever it would have been before. And blokes have had this for years, like different types of role models in sport, and you're that role model for people.
Oh, thank you. That's so lovely. And yeah, obviously I try and speak about it as much as I can and especially as well, like, obviously I've just started a new podcast with Jess Fossey about the gladiators.
Oh, I know Jess, yeah.
Yeah. So me and her do basically roundups of gladiators and we have like gladiator fans on and talk about stuff. And, I was talking about it the other day and I was saying, how cool is it that we get not only just nostalgia, obviously people can remember from watching it back in the day, but we're now in an age where everyone's kids are now watching strong women on the TV and inspiring. Yeah, inspiring to be strong, and it's being championed for women being strong and being athletic and being good at sports and being good at PE. And I just think it's a really nice era to be in. And I think it's definitely that age group of people that remember it as a kid and now I've got kids that are now watching it. So it's, obviously we've really enjoyed doing the podcast and, the amount of kids we have right in. It's called Contender Ready. Okay. So you can obviously get it on all streams, Apple, Spotify, etc. So, but it's really cool, obviously, to now see this generation of kids being inspired by strong women and strong men.
My daughter loves what's the one where they run into the middle and tap the thing?
The ring.
They get absolutely smashed.